Hey, so you're thinking about stepping up your welding game and you've got that Forney 311 210 amp MIG welder sitting on your wish list, but you're also wondering if you're about to drop cash on something that will actually sit in your garage and see regular use, or if it'll end up gathering dust while you hunt for a better fit. I get that hesitation. Welding gear can be a pricey commitment, and you've probably heard a mix of praise and complaints from different forums, so you want to make sure the machine you pick matches the projects you actually have. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through what you'd experience day to day with this unit, who will find it useful, and where it might fall short, so you can decide before you click Add to Cart. First off, the Forney 311 is a 230-volt, 210 amp machine that promises to weld up to 3/8 of an inch of mild steel in a single pass. In practical terms, that means if you're a hobbyist who likes to repair garden equipment, patch up a broken metal fence, or dabble in a few small automotive frames, you're comfortably within the sweet spot. The included Flowmeter and gas hose mean you don't have to hunt for accessories right away, which is a nice little convenience for people who are just getting into MIG welding. The Quick Connect MIG gun also slides on without much fiddling, so you can set up and start welding in a matter of minutes, something that seasoned DIYers appreciate when the project needs to move quickly. Now, the real question is whether this machine will hold up when you push it a bit. Because it's designed for a 230-volt home circuit, you'll need a dedicated outlet or a suitably rated circuit breaker. If your garage power is limited to standard 120-volt circuits, you'll have to upgrade the wiring, which adds an extra cost and a bit of an installation headache. That's a hidden trade-off that many first-time buyers overlook until they're staring at the breaker panel. If you have the right power setup, the welder will deliver a fairly consistent arc, and the ability to switch between MIG gas and flux cord modes adds flexibility. Use MIG for cleaner fumes when indoor work is required, and flip to flux cord when you're outdoors and don't want to lug a gas bottle around. Who should buy this? If you're a weekend warrior who needs a reliable, midly off-the-road machine that can handle light to moderate welding tasks without breaking the bank, the Forney 311 nails that niche. It's also a decent pick for small shop owners who need to produce parts up to about an inch thick occasionally, as long as they're okay with the fact that the spool gun isn't included. You'll have to purchase that separately if you plan to weld aluminum. On the flip side, if you're looking to build a full-time fabrication business, or you need to weld thick structural steel regularly, you'll quickly feel the power ceiling and the lack of a built-in spool gun mechanism. In those cases, a more industrial-grade welder with higher amperage and a dedicated spool gun system would save you the frustration of constantly swapping parts. Let's talk strengths in the context of everyday use. The inclusion of the Flowmeter is more than a nice-to-have. It lets you monitor gas consumption and adjust flow rates on the fly, which can be a lifesaver when you're welding something like a thin sheet that's prone to porosity. The Quick Connect gun reduces downtime. No need to wrestle with stubborn connectors when you're on a tight schedule. Users have reported that the welder starts up quickly, so you spend less time waiting for the machine to heat up and more time actually welding. This is particularly valuable if you're doing multiple small jobs across a day, like fixing a series of garden tools or doing a batch of light automotive repairs. On the weakness side, the biggest practical limitation is the power requirement. If you have to run a new circuit or upgrade your breaker, that's an extra step that can throw off a budget-tight hobbyist. Also, the machine doesn't include a spool gun, which means you're limited to steel and stainless steel unless you add that accessory later. The absence of a built-in voltage selector also means you can't drop down to 120 volts for lighter tasks. Everything runs at the full 230-volt capacity, which can be overkill for fine detail work and may lead to a bit of a learning curve in controlling the arc. Finally, the consumer rating hovering around 3.5 stars suggests there's a mix of experiences. While many users find it perfectly adequate for light projects, a number of reviewers have pointed out that the welding bead can become inconsistent when you push the amperage close to its upper limit. That's something you'll notice if you try to weld something near the 3/8 inch mark repeatedly. From a value perspective, the Forney 311 shines when you factor in the bundled accessories. The Flowmeter, gas hose, and Quick Connect gun together would cost you